Hi, everybody. Are we dancing? Are we dancing? Happy day 3 of the email challenge. If you are returning, welcome, you brave soul. If you are just joining today and you're like, what's happening? So much is happening. Day 1, we talked about email as a strategy for your career. Day 2, we talked about all of the tech things. We did just skim the surface. We could do some serious deep dives in the world of tech. But that's okay. That's okay. And today we're talking about engagement, specifically engagement to grow your list. We're going to talk more about engagement tomorrow around monetizing. And really, this whole thing is about engagement, isn't it? You have music or some product that you've created, and you want to get it out there. That is a very nebulous term. Like, what does that even mean? You distributed it, so it's on Spotify. Does that mean it's out there? Technically, yes. It's now out there. But when we say that as musicians, what we really mean is we want a lot of people to hear the music. So what that actually is bringing people in here. It's not about out there. Yes, we need to have it distributed and available out there. So like literally out there, but it's not really about going out to a million places. It is about bringing them in. So that's what this whole week is about, right? Yay! Hair flip. It's my COVID hair, you guys. It's long. I love it. So day 3, welcome. I'm giving everyone a hot second to sign on here. Hey, Brianna. Hey, James. A couple Jameses going on. Hey, Steve. Hey, Nancy, Eugene, and Robin. What's up, everybody? So happy to have you. So happy to have you back. Who's here first time, right? First time or one, or give me like a number 1 if this is the first day you're hitting up the 5-day email challenge, because it's all good if that is you. I will be referring to some things that we might have already spoken about, but it's okay. You can catch up. The links are available. The videos are available in the Facebook group. If you're watching on YouTube, these links are going to be public eventually. So it's all good. Because my hair is actually like semi-annoying me today. Okay, so before we get going, just remember the structure for each of these calls is I go laser, so I go very fast. Good thing about the replays is you can watch them at half speed because I value your time and I know there's songs to be written and fans to be found. So I don't want to waste your time. Everything I say hopefully is something either new or a great reminder for something you knew already. And I talk fast because I want to pack it in because I can't help myself. So that's happening today. But just so you know, the outline of each of these days is 1, there's 4 things. 1, I will throw some information at you. I'll have some slides and we'll sort of get all on the same page about what today's conversation is. Today is awareness and growth and the engagement that can help the growth. And then I will pause for a second so everyone can like take notes and all the things. And we'll do a free giveaway, which has been really, really fun. And I'll announce yesterday's giveaway winner. I'm giving away different fun stuff bundles. Most of them are from my favorite Black-owned shops. So that is really fun. So we'll do that. And then I will give you the assignment for today. It is a 5-day email challenge. As I've been saying, not a 5-day email easy. It's a challenge for a reason. And if you keep up with the homework assignments, you're actually going to be leaps and bounds, months and months and months ahead of where you would be if you were trying to do all this on your own. So I'm giving very small little writing prompts. We had an outline day 1. Yesterday, we wrote a wake up your sleepy list email, just the text. We're not even formatting. We're just sort of getting through some of the big blocks that people face when it comes time to sit down and write the thing. Because I know for me, that is usually the thing that stops me. Once I get it written, it's like, cool. Then I plop it in and then I know all the tech stuff, but everyone gets stopped in different places. And so we're really looking at the entire journey of what we need to do as an email master and what our subscribers are going through as a journey. And we just look in a linear fashion. Okay, we've got this step. Where do we get stopped? And that's the step that we need to go in and focus on. And then we clear that block and then we keep going. Where do I get stopped again? So that's how this whole week is going. So after I give you the assignment, then we do Q&A at the end. So if you've got questions as I'm presenting, there's a good chance I won't see them. So it's okay if you type them again or save them until the end when I'm actually scrolling through all the comments, and you'll know what that looks like because I'll be like, okay, that's what I will look like. It's very, very pretty. So Are we ready? I do want to handle a couple questions that I saw in the Facebook group and I got some emails about. You guys, you can just post in the Facebook group. I'm seeing all the stuff in there, but I wanted to just address them first. They're sort of lingering from the tech day yesterday. The first one is, if you have contacts in your Gmail, Yahoo, whatever, that's not an email list. That's your personal email provider, Gmail, Yahoo, whatever you use, your own domain. So yourname@yourname.com. That is not an email list. So yesterday when we were talking about platforms, those are places that you can legally gather people's emails, people that are opting in saying, yes, I want you to have my email so that I can get whatever it is that you're offering. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that opt-in. We touched on it yesterday. So I just wanted to make sure that's very, very clear. You cannot take all of your contacts and put them into an email list. That is not legal. And we want to stay legal. That's the first question I got a lot of. And I got a second question because I've been mentioning Amplify and Rock Your Email List. Those are sort of my two babies. They are different. Amplify is a monthly mastermind. It's a membership for musicians. Totally different. Rock Your Email List is a program that you get lifetime access to. It's sort of do at your own pace, but it's the A to Z of all the stuff we're talking about this week. It's the deep dives into the tech and getting it all handled and all the over 40 templates, emails pre-written, ready to go for you. So that's a program. Amplify, I run Amplify. I am a trained life coach, so I bring that into the world there. So we get a little bit of more holistic, big picture stuff, but I do talk a lot about email. In fact, once a month in Amplify, you get an email of the month. So it's an email that's timely for that month. So, holidays, different stuff going on, and you can send it out right there. So you get a template every single month when you're in Amplify. But other than that, totally separate from Rock Your Email List. Just wanted to clarify those two things. Cool. Okay, cool. So everyone take a breath. You're here. Even if you don't do anything and you're just sitting, you will get something by osmosis. That is how I design this. If you are extra active, you are going to shoot forward through all the levels. You're going to level up. So I'm excited for everyone here, whether you're like, oh my God, email kind of blows my mind and overwhelms me, or you're like, I'm just here for the refreshers. Great. Either way, I am happy that you're here. So with little further ado, oh yeah. And Shalina, let me just share this really fast. I'm not a musician. I'm a visual artist, but I'm loving this challenge. Here's the thing. What I'm talking about, I am a musician and I have used all of these tactics on my own fan list. This is all stuff that you can apply to any creative career if you are creating anything. I learned email marketing in the digital marketing world. The example they used the entire training was how to sell mattresses. And I am so unrelated to the world of mattress selling that I was like, this is BLISS. This is going to be something special. And here's the thing. It's completely applicable to anyone who has something to sell. And if you're creating music and you want to have a music business and a long-term music career, then you have something to sell. Sell is not a 4-letter word, despite there being 4 letters. It's not a bad word. And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. But that's a great question. I just wanted to address that. So if anyone is here and you're like, you're talking so much about music, how does this apply to me? It totally applies to you. Just swap out whatever I'm talking about in terms of digital sales or whatever to whatever it is that you have to offer the world. Okay. All right. Great. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Boop, 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 so that you can see and take, you're welcome to take screenshots of this stuff. So let me just tell you about my awareness and growth strategy. So people are like, okay, you've had a list for a really long time. It's not a huge list. My fans are very awesome, but I don't have tens of thousands of people on my list, but I'm able to fan fund CDs over and over again for more than $20,000 each. I can send a single email and people are fundraising for me without me even knowing it while I'm sleeping. My list is amazing, right? So people are like, what's your strategy? Here it is. Ready? I'm going to share this with you. You can see my strategy. I give them something and then I talk about it. Y'all, that's my strategy. And I'm not even being cheeky. I'm legit serious. So we're going to talk about how to give them something and then how to talk about the thing that we give them. And that could be the very first thing that you want to talk about. Like, hey, I have a free song that you get when you sign up for my mailing list. We're going to talk about that. But then tomorrow, we're also going to talk about what are all the other things that you have to sell. I did see a question somewhere in there about what what do I sell? What are the things? We're going to make lists. You're going to be, your mind is going to be blown how much you actually have to offer. It's very exciting, and how easy it is to create some products that you might not have thought of. You guys, I can't help myself and just get ahead of myself. That's happening tomorrow. Great. Okay. So this is my strategy. Create something, give it to them, and talk about it. Okay. So we're going to dig into growing your list beyond your mom. So yesterday we saw this slide. This was the technology flow. So I'm going to walk through it one more time very quickly for those who are just joining today, and for review for those who are like, oh my God, the tech day was like bananas. There are 5 things really when we're thinking about what's the process and where could we possibly get stuck in terms of the technology. And that is setting up a landing page, the place you send everyone, whether you're running Facebook ads, whether you're just telling a friend. It can be your homepage on your website, or it can be a designated page where that form is that says, hey, I have this thing to give you, the lead magnet or the opt-in. What's your email? Fill out this form and I'll send it to you. That's the landing page. Then that email, that information goes into your email list platform like MailChimp, Kajabi, MailerLite, ActiveCampaign, Flowdesk, Bandzoogle, etc. Right? And for those of you who missed yesterday, I refer people to Kajabi or Bandzoogle. And if you're curious about that, go check out yesterday's video, because I give you some discounted links if you're interested in trying either of those out for a couple weeks for free. Then your job is to have set up already the delivery of that opt-in, that free whatever it is that you're giving them, right? And that's all automated. You don't need to do this for every new subscriber. We're setting that up. That happens automatically. Then they get into your welcome series, nurture series, etc. And then they get taken down the lovely path of going from a subscriber to an actual fan because of your content. We're going to talk about this today because the welcome series is what will determine how long people stick around. Growth is not just about getting new people in, it's about keeping them in. If you had 10,000 people join a day and then tomorrow 10,000 people unsubscribed, that is not growth. That's not growth. That is sad. So we want to get the people in and then keep them. So we want to talk about the getting the people in is where we're going to talk about today, the landing page, and then the keeping them is the welcome series. And we're going to break that down today. And then of course, step 5 is the rise series. This is where we sell. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Cool. All right. So these are the 2 places we're going to focus on for the rest of this conversation. So let's talk about give them something, the gift. We got a little bit of this down yesterday, but we are talking about what is there to give someone to entice them to join our mailing list. So ask not, will you join my list? Rather, I have a gift for you. Where should I send it? I stole this from Rick Barker, who, by the way, is a big fan of my email course, but it's really good semantics right there. There's no sign up for my newsletter. First of all, we don't send newsletters anymore, right? We don't. Second of all, that's just antiquated language. So it's what's in it for them. I have a thing to give you. Tell me where to send it. Another great phrase, and I've seen this used, is something along the lines of, you'll be part of my online world and I'll keep you in the loop with stories, releases, and other fun stuff via email. Cool. That can be sort of the underneath the header so that you're really, really clear that, yeah, they are signing up for an email list, but you're not being wonky about it. You're being super straight, right? So on this landing page, you tell them you have a thing to give them. Where should you send it? Now, the gift, and I mentioned this yesterday, it can be a download. It can be an old mix. It can be a song that's already released. It can be a song that's coming out. It can be a bundle of songs. It can be a code, a discount code to your merch store. It should be something easy for them to consume that they can get right in the next email. So not like an entire 5-day course or a long book to read or something. It's you want to give them that instant win, that instant they get to know you within like 3 to 5 minutes, right? So that's the thing you want to give them. You want to stay away from stuff that is like super fan stuff, like behind the scenes, deep dive stories into the songs. That's great content, but that's great content for once they're fans. We want to make the assumption that when they sign up for your email list, it's not because they are a fan. It might be because they're curious or because a friend told them to or because you asked them to personally. But at that moment, they are just subscribers. It's your job in the welcome series to turn them into fans, and we'll talk about how to do that. So you don't want to give fan material to a subscriber. You want to give subscriber material, subscriber content to turn them into a fan. Cool? Okay, cool. So Then we got to talk about it. Okay, so we've got this set up. So this is what mine looks like. Become an insider, get a free song bundle, hand selected by yours truly. It contains 4 songs from released music and unreleased music. Just pop your name in below and tell me where to send it. Cool. And then I have a little thing and there's a little picture of me and blah, and it's my colors are on brand and everything. You want this landing page or wherever they're going to be very clear and have only one call to action. So I don't also have watch my new music video and listen to my song on Spotify and pre-save my new single here. Like there is one thing to do here that is super duper important. If growing your email list is the focus for you right now, then everywhere that should be the one call to action. If you guys have email signatures that are like, here's like my 9 different social sites and here's my single, like that, no one's going to click on anything in there. You should have 1 to 3 links possible and a little like description of what each link is, just like a little phrase so that they know what they're getting. But if growing your email list is your number 1 goal, that should be the only link. So you can talk about this on your webpage, obviously, social media, in all your little abouts and descriptions and stuff like that. Make sure to have the link there on your Facebook page. Like I said, in your email signature, if you are running Facebook ads, and then, of course, partnership email list cross promotion. So this is something that we do inside of the Rock Your Email List group is we create cross promotions. Okay, who's got their welcome series set up? One of the things you can do is send a broadcast or even put it into your nurture series so every single subscriber will get it eventually, and you cross promote with another artist. What that looks like, you guys, here's the nugget for the day. You know, I've got big nuggets every day. This is a really good one. You can even do this inside the In the Keep Success group is just find someone. And this is once your stuff is set up. So don't jump the gun yet. Once your welcome series is set up, you want to make sure the other person's welcome series is set up so that when you send your fans to their list, they're going to be taken care of. But what you can do is say to your fans, hey, I just met this other great musician. It doesn't matter the genre and it doesn't matter the size of their list, by the way. Okay, let's just assume it all comes out in the karma wash of the musician, community here. So you say, hey, I met this other musician. You, my fans, might like this song. They're giving it away for free or bundle of songs, whatever the other person is giving away. You should go check it out. And you send your fans to their link, your email list. And then the other musician, does the same thing for you. Hey, I met this musician. They're pretty cool. The song is not in my genre, but you might like it. Here, go here. And they're giving it away for free. You become credible to your fans because A, it's not all about you all the time, which is very refreshing. B, you are becoming the source of cool content, right? Especially if they like the song. And then C, it's like insta new fans, insta cross promotion. So I'm a big fan of that. And you should have this link, this very clear, direct link of where people are going to be sent for the cross promotion. So that is, that's the gist about talking about it. You're just talking about it everywhere. Your social posts on Instagram and Facebook, you can say, hey, I've got this thing. I want to give it to you. Or if you have some news coming up, make sure that your subscribers get that news first. If they feel special, you guys, people love feeling special. You know, Jamie, Mike, you know what I mean, Matt, Emily, you feel special. You got to make your email list be like the most special thing. So if you have some news or video coming out or single or something, they need to know first. Even if you post it on social an hour later, the fact that your email list knows first means something. So if you've got something big coming up on social, you can say, hey, I've got something big coming up. I'm only telling the people in my email world about it. They're going to know first. Oh, you're not on this? You're not there yet? Oh, just go over here. I'll give you a free thing. That's the conversation you should be having when you've got any sort of big announcement coming up. You grow that list first, and then you tell your list about the thing, and then social can find out later. Cool. Special. We want people to feel special. It's very easy. It's just a timing thing. You're going to be doing all this stuff anyway. You're going to be posting on social. You're going to be sending it to your email list. You might as well just send it to your email list first, and then talk about the fact that they're going to get it first. Cool. Okay, cool. So we talk about it and we talk about it first. Okay, talking about it, continued. This is a little more like in-person stuff, but it can still be applied to online. So attending networking events, and like networking events right now also means like Facebook groups and masterminds. You shall be in one. If you're not in one, it's how you will level up with velocity. Networking events where you get to interact with other people here, not only musicians, but other people. Like if you're into gardening, join some gardening groups. Y'all, I just took someone gave me some crystals for last Christmas. And I was like, I don't know what to do. They're pretty rocks. I used to collect rocks when I was a kid. So I like took a crystals course, and then I joined some Facebook groups, and there's like all these women with like crystals and tarot cards. And I'm like, am I getting all witchy? And all of a sudden I'm like looking at these groups that I'm in with thousands and thousands of awesome people that are doing something cool and learning the way I'm learning. And I also realized that I'm writing a lot of kind of like witchy goddess music. And I started to just like tell people like, hey, if you're like, holding your crystals, I got one here. If you're holding your crystals, like, here's a cool playlist. And people are like, oh my God, that's so awesome. Like, boom. That is networking. So like, what else are you interested in? Like, go contribute to a group and just be a listener and absorb some cool stuff, and then find a cool way to talk back there. Live shows, live streams. So if you're not doing in person, live streams is a great way to talk about your list. Do not be wonky about asking people to join your list, especially when you are performing live. There are so many great opportunities during a live stream or live show. So first off, make it easy. So put the link to the page where they can sign up in the comments, as well as in the description of the show before people even show up. If you're at a live show, you can have options like text to opt in, that you can do that through your email platform. You can have cards made. You can have a book, a sign-up book, an iPad at a merch table. If you're doing live shows, I'm a big fan of having a fan collect the emails and share that link. So this is why. 1, you don't need to think about it. 2, they're going to want to impress you. So they're going to be hella more annoying than you are about getting everyone that's watching, or everyone at the show, or everyone that's like commenting, to sign up, which is great because they just look like a crazed fan, and the other people are going to be like, oh wow, these people like really love this band, so I should sign up. And then they're going to get the signups for you, which is really cool. I also love running a contest. I used to do this. So I used to play a game that I would get 50% of the people in any live show to sign up for my email list. And one of the things I would do is I would have someone in the audience, like going around with the clipboard, and you can totally do this digitally as well in the comments and stuff, and say, for anyone that signed up before my last song, I'm going to give away a sweatshirt or a CD, or you can come up on stage and sing with me, or I'll put your name into a song, whatever it is. You can run a contest in that real time and like create a little bit of urgency for people to go and sign up, which is really cool. It takes a little coordinating and a little bit of a team, but you can create that with your fans or friends or anybody, right? So there's a lot of fun ways to engage with people, but you just need to be really clear that this is the thing that you want people to do. Like, I want you to be in my world, and I'm willing to give you a thing for it. Especially if you're about to play the song that you're giving away. Like, hey, this song that I'm about to play, you can get for free. Go here. And they can go there while you're playing the song. And then afterwards, you can be like, did you like that song? If so, I'm going to give it to you for free. Like, keep talking about it. Cool. Okay, cool. So we're going to get into the welcome series, because here's the thing. You get all these people to sign up for your email. If you do not have a welcome email ready to go, they are not going to stick around. They're going to be like, well, what about that person? Like, you don't want to wait a week until your tour's over, or till you think about it and be like, oh, I need to put in all those emails. Oh, I need to send an email to that person, that group of people that signed up last week. They're going to be like, wait, who? What? Who, what, where, when, why? All of the questions. Okay. We don't want that. We don't want that. We want a welcome series. So here's the welcome series. There are 4 emails in a great welcome series. The first email, it sets up their expectation. What can they expect by signing up? They signed up already, so they're excited. They want the thing that you gave them. By the way, this first email will be your highest open rate that you will ever send. The highest email open rate that you will ever send is this first email. You have a fabulous opportunity to give them some information. And we're going to dig into exactly the format of this first welcome email in a second. So stand by, all my little go-getters. Okay. The second email that you send, approximately 4 days later, you don't want to wait too long. You want to stick with that excitement. They just saw you live. There's that energy, that getting to know you, that relationships building. I don't suggest sending emails all the time every 4 days, but Welcome and Rise series, I do change it to a little more often, because it kind of gets people like, ooh, I'm excited. There's things going on. And you'll also filter out really quickly people that are like, oh yeah, no, I'm actually not interested in this, which is fine. My little people pleasers, and I want to be liked. It's okay if people unsubscribe. They're not going to be your super fans, so they're just going to bring your deliverability rate down, and we don't want that. So the second email, which we send about 4 days later, is some new content. I love a good, hey, it's kind of like, think about this. It's kind of like, here's what you missed when you weren't on my list. Like, you're new here. Here are the highlights. So for example, you can say, this is my most viewed music video. This is my most popular music video, or my most popular blog post that I wrote about when this happened. Or this video was filmed when I was rock climbing in the Grand Tetons and I had a helicopter. True story. Like, interesting. Okay, cool. And it's a way for people to get to know you beyond that first giveaway, whatever that was. Cool. So it's new content that you can send them to. And I also, in the second email, I say, if you didn't download the thing from the first email, here it is again. Cool. The third email, another 4 or 5 days later, is content in a new way. So if you sent a blog post last time, maybe send a video and vice versa. So give them, for the readers, you want to give them something that they love. For the visual people, you want to give them something they love. And you want to make sure that you get everyone's preference. You've hit them all by the time you get to this third email. Okay. The fourth email in a welcome series is another giveaway. So those other things were content, not necessarily things they can download or giveaways, but the fourth email can be either a sale or a gift, a light sale. So if you showed them a video of the song, you can say, hey, if you're interested in the song, here's the Bandcamp link. You can get it for 99 cents. It's not a hard push. We're not going hardcore. We'll talk about like how to really sell and be very specific and intentional with our language. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But this fourth email is they're still excited. They're still here. They're still getting to know you. There's an opportunity for them to buy immediately. You could send them to your whole merch store. When we talk about selling tomorrow, you know that that's normally what to do in a Rise series. Rise meaning we're going from a fan to a customer. They have to actually like do something in order to be a super fan, which means buy something. And I like very much to focus on one item. So if you have a merch store, you don't say, go to my merch store. You say, check out the new mug I have or the sweatshirt. You talk about one item in your merch store, one Patreon level if you have 7, right? But in this fourth email in the welcome series, you can introduce the idea. So if Patreon is one of your goals or merch store or CD bundles, you can say, hey, here's this thing to explore, and it can be a light sale. So that is the welcome series. Those are 4 emails, and you're giving them great content. You've set up their expectations, and they're like, okay, cool. I'm here for the long haul. I'm excited about this artist and about this content. Cool. Let's talk about that first email. There's 5 things here. We'll talk about the 5th one in the next slide. So the welcome series is and I also call it in Rock Your Email List, I call this the commencement series. We are starting them off and we are putting our best foot forward. The job of the first email they ever get is to set the tone and the expectations of being a subscriber. You want this to be very much in your voice. So the first 4 things we're going to talk about is you just want to remind them what they just did and celebrate it. So I'm tickled pink. This is in my words. Thanks for joining the community. And I like to put their first name in. I'm tickled pink that you're interested in following and supporting my crazy music career. I promise to keep it interesting. So they just did this thing. It's very obvious, but you want to just state it. So you're immediately psychologically speaking on the same page. Cool. Then you want to actually spell out what's next. So you can say, I've got the free thing for you. It's at the bottom. It's going to be a zip file. Like I describe the things, right? I also now have, you want to whitelist this email. So in the future, it won't show up in your spam or promotions folder. So I put that in there. If you have a contest, whatever, you can say what is happening next. You want to be really brief, right? This is one of the longer emails, by the way, and that's totally fine because they're going to wait for it because they want the thing. The thing goes at the bottom. So no more, thanks for signing up for my email list. Here's your song. You're wasting valuable real estate here because they are willing to read through this in order to get to the free thing. Then you want, this is really, really sneaky, but also really awesome. You want to request them to do something. A very light request. And it's a free thing, like to check out your Instagram or your web page. Here's the thing. When they click on that link, and it goes to the page that they're expecting. So if in mine, I say, please feel free to browse my website. When they click on my website, it goes to my website. I just gain some authority. When you click on a link and it works, there's immediate trust. You're also training them to click on your links in your emails, which is what we want. So you've got to have this one outside link in here to start to get that training going, get that relationship going of when I tell you to go somewhere that I'm going to really check my links and it's going to be the right place to go. You can trust me, right? And 2, like, that's what we do here. When I give you a link, you click on it. Cool. That's our relationship. And then what's to expect from being on the list? How often are you going to send to them? So I say over the next few weeks, I'll be sending some goodies, including some stories and behind the scenes stuff and generally interesting things. I now also include, like, I'm going to give you opportunities to contribute and be part of this journey. And I'm going to sell you some things, right? Because then when you actually sell to them, they're not going to be like, wait, why is she selling to me? They're going to be like, oh yeah, cool. That's like what you do, right? Sign up for a mattress emails, like you want to know when the discounts are. Like, they're going to sell to you. So we'll talk more about this tomorrow, but this plants the seed for no wonkiness around selling. Get it? Cool. And then there's the button, download the free music bundle, which is what they were waiting for, but they got to read all the things. Cool. So to review, there's a congratulations. There's the what to expect. And by the way, like, this can be any order except that the thing has to be at the bottom. A little bit about you, the authority click, all that stuff, right? Cool. We were so fast today. So just to summarize before we do the giveaway, and I announced yesterday's winner, just to summarize, and we're going to come back into this and I'm going to dig deep with the Q&A. To summarize, awareness and growth of your list comes from you talking about it. You have to talk about it. You have to make it a priority. You have to make it the thing that you want your audience, your socials, your friends, everyone to do and come back to. When they come to it, you need to have the welcome series set up before you go talk about it so that when they do come in, they're like settling in and they're going to be here for the long haul, right? You can even say, hey, I'm taking a break for 4 months to work on the record, but I'll be in touch in 4 months. Like, you could set them up for that. You can say anything as long as you honor your word, right? This is where your own integrity comes in. But if you say, yeah, I'm going to email you about once a month or a couple times a month or whatever, then it's like, cool, there's your accountability. You said it. Now you got to do it. Cool. For those of you, before I get into the giveaway, I wanted to add one more thing because I got this question a lot yesterday too. For those of you who are like, I don't have anyone on my list yet, a really, really great way to start is by individually asking people. And this may sound completely tedious, but I know several musicians who started this way. One of them asked 1,000 friends on Facebook through Facebook messaging, and 700 of them signed up, like 700 people on the mailing list because of one-on-one personal asks. So here's how to plan this out. You take 20 minutes a day, you put it into your schedule. If for those of you that are in Amplify or have ever heard me talk ever, you know that I don't have to-do lists. When I think of something to do, it goes into my calendar. So then I don't ever have to worry about when it's going to get done. It's like, oh, Thursday, 2 p.m. Oh, I said I was going to do this thing. And it's important because I put it in my calendar. So put in your calendar 20 minutes a day, create a little like 2-sentence, like, hey, I'm rebooting my music career, or I'm starting to do this cool thing with my music career. And what's really important to me right now is having people in on my email world. I'd be willing to give you this song. Would you be interested in signing up? And if they say yes, then you give them the link. But the first sentence needs to be personal. You need to say something like, hey, I know we haven't talked in a while, or like, hey, how are the kids? Or hey, it was so good to see you last year. I can't believe this crazy time we're in. You've got to do something that's not copy and paste, and then you can copy and paste the gist of it. And if you do that 20 minutes a day, you could probably do 2 in a minute. So if you go through, like, do the numbers, like, you're going to get a list. And remember the statistic I gave you on day 1. For every one person on your list, you're going to be making $1 per month. $1 per subscriber per month when you're doing email correctly. And you're here, so you're on your way to doing email correctly, right? So if you have 1,000 friends on Facebook and you get 700 of them, you're going to start seeing some money, like, soon, y'all. Like, this return on investment for email for the time you put in is like, it's not normal for the music industry. Like, we're used to spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on gear, on recording, on mastering, on distribution, on ads, on PR, on press, on all the things, thousands and thousands of dollars before we even see a couple hundred back. Email is not that way. It is not normal. It is not normal. You spend some time upfront writing your emails, setting up the tech, just getting really good at it. Probably taking Rock Your Email List so you can be like super masterful on it and never have to worry about it again. Probably. Winkety wink wink. And then that return on investment is coming back to you like so fast and like fairly guaranteed, y'all. Fairly guaranteed. Okay. So I'm going to head into some questions, but first let's do the giveaway. Yesterday we had some awesome earbuds from the company Bud Loves, and that went to Matt Div. Congratulations, everyone. We are going to go follow Matt Div on the Instagrams, and let's see, we're going to get the exact. Matt Div is Matt Div Music, MATTDIV Music. And Matt Div is an audio guy and a part-time gamer, which is awesome. So congratulations, Matt. You won yesterday. That is so cool. So today we're going to do it a little bit differently. You just got to go to In the Key of Success on Instagram. You got to follow me if you're not already. And then in my most recent post, tag another musician friend. That's all you got to do. We're not sharing stories today, although you're always welcome to take a screenshot and share it with your friends. But I'm giving a sort of a condensed version of this this week's challenge on Sunday and then again on Monday, 2 live webinar trainings. And so my post is about that. So invite your friends to get a taste of this stuff because they're not in the challenge yet. That's fine. They can still join, by the way, and catch up. But we want to talk about that. This is so valuable. I want as many musicians as possible in. So this is how we do that together. And then I will give you a prize. I don't give everyone a prize. I pick randomly. But the prize today is this journal from Reflection Design, which is a great, gorgeous company, and a bundle of music business books. My music business books that I have already read, and I'm literally going to send them to you because I'm a big fan of passing on books. I do this with several friends. We read a book and then we just pass it on. Like I never keep books. And I have a ton of books that have come to me. So you're going to get this journal and my bundle of books that I'm going to mail you personally. So that's what today's prize is. So all you got to do is go to In the Key of Success on Instagram, follow me there, and then tag a musician friend in my most recent post that's there. So not a post from like last week, that won't count. Just today's post that I posted about the webinar that's happening this weekend. And if you're watching back, and if the replay, this is only for people that are here live today. Okay, so if you're here live, this is why I'm super psyched you're here, and I want to reward you for that. Okay, so I'm gonna let you do that. You're gonna win a book bundle and a really cool journal. And I see, what is Amplify? Amplify is a monthly membership that is a mastermind for musicians, and we level up and we finish projects. It's not a course. It's an amazing, amazing community led by me. I am your coach, and we take what you want and we go get it. It's very, very simple. Okay, cool. So I'm letting you do that. Beth's got it. Yep, thanks. Beth, I love this. You can testify to what Cheryl says about making $1 to $2 per subscriber per month. Yes, that is, it is a fact. And it's not a fact I made up. It is a fact that is industry wide. So it's across multiple industries that this fact is true. So Beth, congratulations. That's awesome. That means that you are doing email correctly. And I'm really psyched about that. So yes, I will tell you the names of the books. I have to put them together. So that's a great question. Yeah. Okay. So everyone's doing that. I kind of want to give people a minute to do the giveaway, and then I'm going to tell you your assignment, and then we're going to dive into some Q&As here. Okay. So that's the giveaway. You get this awesome journal. And also, you guys just check out Reflection Designs, a Black-owned company, and they make some really beautiful stuff, and I love them. Okay. Challenge assignment ready? It's a big one. Write your welcome email. And just the first one. For those of you who are overwhelmed by writing, we are just writing the one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go way back to this. You can remember the 5 things, the congratulations, the what to expect, the authority click, the little bit about you, and the thing that they're going to download. Okay? That's the welcome email. Write this email. And if you have a welcome series already, go optimize what you got. Go make sure, like, okay, do I have the reminder? Congratulations. Do I have the what's next? Do I have the request? Do I have the expectation? If you don't have one of these things, put it in, shorten it, tighten it up, make it really, really fun to read. I love good bullet points. Like, do something fun in your welcome email. So if you already have one, I love that you do. Go optimize it, update it. You found your voice since the last time you wrote it. Your voice is always changing, right? Your who you are, your stories, your confidence around what you're doing, the fact that you're in this challenge, you're probably already getting a little bit of oomph back to your fan connection initiatives. So go check your language. Go be real clear on what you want them to do. If you haven't written it yet, start from scratch. Again, remember, I tell you and I tell everyone to make sure you're writing not in your email platform. Edit this in a Word document or a Google Doc or something. Just be in the mindset of writing, not in the mindset of handling the tech and formatting it and making sure it's in the right list. And we'll do that later. You can do that later after you become a master at your platform and you're ready to plug it all in and connect it all, right? So just get the writing done. This is a huge block for so many people. It's the reason I wrote 40 plus templates for Rock Your Email List, because I really, really don't like sitting down to do the writing. I get really blocked by that idea of sitting down and writing. I always want to wait for inspiration to hit, which is so weird because as a composer for commercials, it's like when you get a call for a commercial, they're like, we need this in 3 hours. Like you sit down and you write the music. I am very much not I'm going to wait for inspiration. I am this is my job. So I sit down and do it. But for some reason with writing emails, I was super squirrely about sitting down and doing it. So I knew that I was like, this is what I need to do, is I need to write a bunch of different series for musicians to just kind of shortcut this whole process. But we can't shortcut your welcome email because only you know what it is you are writing. I do have a welcome series that is available. I think a lot of you saw it when you signed up for this thing. It was offered on the thank you page. If you want a shortcut, you can grab my welcome series. You do have to put it in your own voice. So you take my stuff and you copy and paste, and there's the format is there, right? That comes with Rock Your Email List as well. But your homework tonight, write just the first one. Okay, just the first one. So by tomorrow, to summarize what we will have, you will have an outline of all the emails you'll eventually write for your nurture series that will combine into different nurture series bundles of 4 or 5 emails that can go out after the welcome email series. You will have the warm-up email for when you are, you've ghosted your list and you're like, I feel bad, I haven't written them in 4 years. What do I say? You have that email now, and then you'll have this welcome email, which is the most important email of the entire series. So this is big stuff. This is really, really big, great work. Okay. So I'm going to get into the Q&As about this landing page and growing your list, all this stuff right now. And just know that tomorrow is all about engagement in the sense of how do we build up to actually selling, and selling in a way that's authentic and profitable. Like we're not talking about like, oh, let's sell like 1 CD every couple months. Like, no. Selling and as a business. So that's tomorrow. It's still engagement, but we're really going to focus in on the monetizing. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And hey, how's everyone doing here? Okay, so I'm going to go into some questions. So if you typed a question way earlier, I didn't see it because I was very focused on my slides. You can type it again. I won't be mad. It's totally fine. Question is let's see. Jamie has a question. Is it 4 emails for the welcome series and then a nurture series? Exactly, Jamie. A nurture series is 4 to 5 emails that you can hand pick that, pick the ones that make sense from that list of 30 that we created on day 1 of all the different nurture ideas. And remember, nurturing is we're not selling, right? We're sharing stories, we're engaging, we're asking questions, we're shining lights, we're giving some backstory, like they're getting to know us, right? So you can hand pick from that list of 30. It doesn't need to necessarily be in any order, but you can figure out which ones make sense. And then that's the nurture series. So you got your welcome series. I send them then through a nurture series. Some people go right to a rise series, and that just depends on for example, if you're collecting all your emails from a live show, from live streaming, people will have gotten to already spend time with you. They may not need to be nurtured right away. Sure, they're going to want the backstories, but you could do a welcome series into a rise series and then a nurture one. And then I do a rise and then a nurture and then and I keep alternating whether it's nurture or rise. But you need to know your audience. I do welcome into a short nurture series and then into a rise series. So I hope that helps, but that's a great question. Yeah, I really love that. Okay. How to use merge tags to address emails with recipients with first names. Yeah. So when people sign up, we talked about this in the tech day, which was yesterday. So go back and review that. But when people sign up, you take their first name and you can say, hi, first name. And that will go, if you have the program a program that uses merge tags, which literally most of them do, they'll read that email and it will say, hey, Molly, and it will seem and feel personalized. So that's what a merge tag is. How to actually use it is different for each platform, and I'm not doing like specific platform tech videos here. That is available in Rock Your Email List. Okay, cool. Let's see. Avelia, I hope I'm saying that right. When you offer a song, is it something that is already out there, distributed, etc., or something exclusive to the list? I mean, it's up to you. I do a song from each of my records. So it's like a bundle, a zip file. They're all available out there, but it's kind of like, oh, I'm getting like 4 or 5 songs for free. That's kind of cool. I did just release a single that is very heavy. There's a lot of vocals in it. So what I was doing was I was actually sending people to a different list when I was doing a Spotify pre-save. When they pre-saved, they got taken to a page that was a form for the vocal only version. And I was like, this is the only way you can get the acapella mix of this song. And that was something I was sending to my fans, because a new subscriber might be like, well, I don't really care about the acapella version, but I was sending my fans there. So it can be whatever you want. Again, it might depend on where the source of traffic is coming from. If it's cold traffic, meaning Facebook ads or people who have never heard your music before or heard of you before, you may want to give them something that's actually already out there. But if they might be potential fans already, it could be something different. But that's a great question. Let's see. Art says, I have about 250 on my list. Awesome. Should they also get the welcome email? So this is a great question. So what I like to do when I redo my welcome series or I move, move platforms or do something, you can re-welcome those people, right? Especially if you're really like, if you haven't been in touch with them the way you wanted to be, or at least maybe in this challenge, you've been learning different ways to engage with them. So you could send everyone that's currently on your list through a sort of modified welcome email. And basically what that looks like is write the welcome series. And then you can select all the people on your list and say, send to welcome series. And immediately they'll get the first email, and you can tweak the language to be like, hey, I know you've been hanging around here and you're interested in my music. I'm changing stuff up a little bit and I just want to let you know. And then you can follow all the rules and like say, hey, I want to give you a free song, like give them some free content. Like, why not? As soon as the whole list gets that first email, they're going through the series. You can go back and change that first email to be for new people. Right. So just little teeny tweaks in the language. So absolutely, if you're changing up how you're doing email and you're going to be talking to them in a different way, you want to manage that expectation for them. So even if they've been on your list for a while, you can just be like, hey, I'm changing some stuff up. I'm getting really psyched about this community in here, and, do that. But really great question. Love that. I just saw, and I don't know where it went. Subject line for the first email. In my welcome series, I give you, or in all my templates, I give you subject lines that you can use and tweak. But I keep it really, really straight for this first email, because we know they're going to open it because they're going to want the thing, right? You sign up to get a thing, they're going to open that email no matter what it is. So you want to make it really clear what that email is so they don't miss it, right? Like, here's the song you signed up for. Or here's that gift song. You don't want to put the word free, by the way, in the subject line. That will get you right to the spam box. So here's the song, or now you're an insider. If you made it really clear, like on mine, it was very clear, like, welcome to being an insider. Or I worked with a group of brothers, and they said, join the family on their landing page. And then the subject line of the welcome email was, you're in the family. So there was a direct connection between the two. You can also have an emoji on the landing page and the same emoji in the subject line. Do you just want that familiarity? So they're like, oh, that's the thing I just signed up for. But great question for that subject line. You want to keep it very, very clear what it is, and you don't want to get too cutesy. Cool. And then Ellen says, so the welcome series comes first, all 4 of them. Yep. And then you alternate nurture and rise series. Yep, absolutely. Rise series, we're going to talk about tomorrow. Rise series are selling series, where we focus really about selling. Okay, let's see. Oh, I love this question about the icons. A lot of our email platforms give the option to have all of our social media icons in the footer. So here's the question. Welcome email to, you can connect with me in these places too. 2 questions. Icons only. Can I add Bandcamp or just the socials? I am a big fan of keeping it simple and keeping it less than 2. And that footer, by the way, take it away. Do not put it in every email. There is one welcome email where if you want people to sort of get to know you a little better, you want to send them to like wherever you are most active, not all the places. Like if you have an account on LinkedIn, but you never use it, do not send people to LinkedIn. Bandcamp is for selling music, but there is a little community element of it now. You can send them there, and Instagram. So absolutely say connect with me on these other platforms, but limit it to 2, and you're not putting that footer of the social icons in any email unless that is the point of that email, which is to bring people into that world. Great question. Love that. Okay. Torsten, we talked about Bandzoogle yesterday, so go ahead and go back and watch that video. I see your question there. Let's see, what else? What are other good subject line for a welcome series? Well, I already told you this subject for the welcome series. You want to be straight with them in the beginning. Let's see. Do I have to pay royalties if you give away recordings of me doing covers? If you've recorded covers, you should probably have already gone through like Easy Song licensing and gotten the license. They're not expensive, and you can get most licenses pretty easily through there. And the way you deliver the song in terms of song platforms, because you're not sending an attachment to the song, you want them to download it. You can send them to a Google Drive. Most people hate Dropbox, so don't send a Dropbox link. But most email platforms, if you're using MailChimp or Kajabi or whatever, you can upload a file to the platform and they'll host that for you. So then when someone gets the email and they click on it, it takes them to the download, it takes them to a web page, and then you right click on it or whatever you do to download it. So that's how you're going to host that there. But I wouldn't really send them to outside platforms because it's different. SoundCloud is very hard to access on, even if it's a private song or private playlist, it's very hard to access on mobile. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm a big fan of just doing it through the email platform and making sure that it's set up sort of all contained in there. So it's really easy for the user to get access to it. Cool. Dun, dun, dun. Why a download? I don't quite understand that question. It's something they can get, like put their hands on. I mean, it's digital, most likely. So probably not like hands, but they're digital eyes on it. That's what we want there. Lori Ann, this is a great question. This is kind of like the Facebook idea, right? Can I send an email to everyone on my contact list to opt in? Do I send via Google or form or from my Wix? I don't know what from my Wix is, but if you had a form on your Wix that people signed up for, like opted into, that's your email list. Wix and Bandzoogle and like some of those basic sites that have the ability to collect emails, that is technically an email list. But you can do what I was suggesting with Facebook messaging, writing one person at a time, like having a little thing that you copy and paste, but making it individual. You can absolutely send an email to people on your contact list, but you have to send it one at a time. You can't bulk email everyone. That is not legal. But that's a good question. So the same concept with growing that list one at a time. And it's a great thing to do, especially if you're early on in building your list. You're going to see a huge growth from doing that. Just take a week or 2 weeks, 20 minutes a day, just blast out as many personal messages as possible. Like, this is the thing that's important to me. Would you be interested in signing up? Yes, cool. Here's a link. And then have them go sign up, right? You don't sign them up. They sign themselves up. Cool. Dun, 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 dun. I'm looking for other questions. Where can you go to get licensed for covers? I love Easy Song licensing. If you distribute through CD Baby, you can go through them. It's one of the little tabs when you sign into your CD Baby account. That's a great place to get covers, licenses for sheet music, for recordings, for whatever you just like put into their form. Like, this is what I'm looking for. And then like they give you a number to call and give you a license. And it's like, I think for me, I did a cover of So Happy Together by the Turtles, and it was like $40 for 1,000 downloads. And I was like, I'm not planning on 1,000 downloads because it was just a thing I did for licensing, but I still had to get the cover, the license and stuff like that. So I love them. Easy Song Licensing. I think it might be easysonglicensing.com. I'm not sure. Dun, 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 dun. So D Tranquil has a great question. What if someone didn't join through the free gift? Do I need to have 2 separate welcome emails? So how else would they join? You can definitely have multiple opt-ins. Like I said that I had this a cappella version of a single, which was a different way to get into my mailing list than through my bundle, right? So I was telling people on social, like, hey, go pre-save my song. When you do, you'll get access to the acapella only version. And some of those people were not on my list already. So what I did is I had duplicated my welcome series. And instead of delivering the bundle of songs, all I did was change it up to delivering the acapella mix. So they got welcomed. And what I did was I tagged them, received welcome series. And if they had already received welcome series, I removed them after the first email. I removed anyone that already had that tag. So that if someone had already gotten my bundle of songs, but they still wanted the acapella mix, so they were already on my list, they don't need to go through the welcome series again, but I still wanted them to get the song. I was able to deliver the song and then remove them from the series if they had already been tagged with sent. It's a sent tag for me, sent welcome series. So that's a little complicated. That gets into the tech of the like if then that, but it's a really good way to have multiple ways to get into your list and making sure that people are still welcomed, because you want people to be welcomed and go through that series because it's so important. Great question. Yes, James says you have to build your list and wrap your head around it before you start sending emails. Absolutely. We definitely want to write the welcome series at a very minimum before you start telling people about your list. You want to have this set up. The good thing is that your welcome series is basically four emails over about 2 weeks. So if you're like ready to go, what a great deadline. I love playing deadline games with myself. So here's one I played. I write the welcome series. I've got my 4 emails set up, ready to go. I've learned my platform. I know that it's all set. The tags are all set up, right? Then I go tell people about my welcome series and I start to get people into my email list. I'm like, okay, cool. In 2 weeks, what's going to happen? What a great deadline for me to write my next series by the time they come out of the welcome series so that they're ready to go into the next series, right? Which will probably then be about 4 weeks if it's a nurture series. So then I've got another 4 weeks to write the next. So you can like kind of play that game with like, all right, let's get it going. All you need is a welcome series to really get it going. Wink. Guys, it's like pouring outside. Do you hear the rain? So great. Let's see. I know new comments are coming in. Okay. I'm looking. What is in my perfect pitch packet? Oh, perfect pitch is a very short 8-step program about pitching to one person. So what we're talking about right now is when you're emailing to many people. Perfect pitch is how to write a perfect pitch email so that you get responses and you get more yeses than ever before. It is included with Rock Your Email List for the next little bit here. But it's email, but it's not email fan list. It's just sort of, it's all communication, y'all. It's all about what's in it for them, the wins, being really clear on what you want and what you want the outcome to be. There are some templates in there as well, specifically for musicians who are pitching to music supervisors, to venue promoters, cold traffic, warm traffic, people you've met before. So there's some templates in there as well. Different program, but thanks for asking. Oh, someone really likes easy song licensing. They answer the phone when you call. I love people that answer the phone. Let's see. Oh, I love this question. I'll talk about this for days. It's a little tangential, Eric, but I'll do it. He says, how do you find time for all that you do? Teach, compose, meditate. I do meditate every day. I'm on day 1040. I am busy. I am not busy. I'm not busy. You mentioned your calendar. Can you give more details? Yeah, I used to have a calendar class and then Skillshare changed their format and took it off because they're the worst, even though 1,000 people gave it 10 stars out of 10. It's very simple. My calendar is very simple. I think of something I need to do and I put it in the calendar and then I do it. So there's a couple things in that. It sounds simple, but it doesn't mean it's easy because there's a certain level of integrity you have to have with yourself. And integrity is a habit. And habits start with willpower. Willpower is not something sustainable energetically. Willpower is the thing you need in the beginning to create the habit. And then once it's habit, it happens automatically. So I created the habit of when I put something in my calendar, then I do it. Because Thursday, 2:00 comes along and I said to myself, oh yeah, I need to reply to that person. And it's in my calendar. I don't need to think about it. It's not on my to-do list, like this black cloud of things that I haven't done yet that's making me feel shame about who I am as a human being. I don't do to-do lists. It's in my calendar. So let's say I think of this email I need to send. I put it in my calendar for Thursday, 2:00. Thursday, 2:00 comes and I'm like, I don't want to do that. probably because I'm scared I'm going to get rejected, or I'm scared I'm going to get a yes. Like, we have all these fears that prevent us from taking actions that we know are going to actually make a difference for us. So I've got this relationship with my past self that I'm like, oh, past Cheryl, Monday Cheryl put this into the calendar, so it must be important. So I'm going to trust her and just do this thing. Things happen sometimes, and sometimes I use iCal, so sometimes I have to move an event that I've created. Like that Thursday, 2:00, maybe a phone call came up, and so I moved that to Friday. If I move something more than 3 times, I either have to delete it because it's not important, I'm moving it for a reason, or I break it down into smaller chunks because it clearly was too big for me to like not be overwhelmed by. So it either goes away because it wasn't actually that important. And the third option is I move it. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't need to do this right now. I am in the creation phase. I do not need to think about redoing my website. I'm going to actually move that to 3 months from now. And I put it in my calendar 3 months from now. Cool. So that's how I am a master of my calendar, y'all. And it is why I can do a lot of things, because I have a lot of passions, and it's important to me to be able to do all the things that I do and do them not half-assed and do them well, like be here with you and be super present, but then also make sure I get the vocals done by the end of the day for my mixer who's mixing my record tomorrow. That's the thing I have to do. That's the thing. So it's in my calendar though, and I'm not worried about it because I know how much time stuff takes because I've been doing this for a while. So I hope that helps. We do a lot of time management stuff in Amplify, by the way. Yes. Do I ever promise a song a day subscription? Good God, no. Whew, that sounds like super stressful, but you could do it if that's your thing. I love it. I love the idea of a subscription though. It's what Patreon is, right? It's essentially like, hey, pay me monthly or per video or something, and you get you're a patron of the arts essentially. So you can create your own Patreon type song of the day or whatever you wanted to do if that was a thing that you're doing. Song of the day subscription sounds very stressful to me. So I would not do that. But if you're like, that's your jam and you're ready to do it, then do it. Lorianne, great question. How much time do you recommend per week on list organization? It's the opposite of a hockey stick on the scale. So up front, lots of time, and then later, no time. I said this, I think yesterday or maybe Monday, but I only sit down with my email list when I have something to talk about. And sometimes that's every 3 weeks. Sometimes that's every 6 months, because they're going through my series and they're getting emails either way. What I do is I respond to 100% of emails that come back to me, 100% of them. If any of you wrote me an email, please don't start writing me emails. Like, please just post questions in the Facebook group and do not email me. But I've responded to every single one of them. The biggest reason why is A, this is what you want anyway, right? You want engagement with your fans. B, it's very, very good for your deliverability, which we talked about yesterday in the tech day. You're telling the internet gremlins that you're not spam because you're now in a conversation back and forth. They responded to your email. Now you're responding back. That is good news for the health of your list. So I do make sure that I spend a little time. I have it in my calendar that like I spend probably like, I don't know, 10 minutes a day, just making sure I am replying and responding. I don't like my whole life to be responding. And I used to work this way as a composer. I would wait for especially in commercials, like the commercial world is like, we need it you have like 2 hours to 2 days to do jobs, and you're just sort of like waiting for the demos to come in, and then you hope that they go with it. And so it's like a very much a responding kind of career. And once you pitch a bunch of stuff, then you're waiting for gigs to call you back. So I was always like waiting for stuff to happen. And so I really wanted to shift that to being more generative in my career. Guys, we're going deep in my life today. And so I do carve out time every day, 10 minutes to a half an hour to respond to stuff that comes in. But then I also am very mindful about what I'm creating. And I strike a nice balance there. So I give time for responding. Lorianne, I'm getting back to you, I swear. In the beginning, it took me 2 weeks to write my nurture series. And I worked probably like an hour to 2 hours a day to like really write these nurture series and then also set them up. If you do rock your email list, this process will be much faster because I've got a lot of series written. I don't have nurture series written for you because those are your stories. I cannot tell your stories. But that course is 11 hours of videos. So you could, do 1 hour a week and then in less than 3 months have the whole thing handled. Or I've had people that like literally took 3 days and they did the whole course and then they went back and implemented it over the next month. There's a lot of different ways to get really, really good with it. But I do know that when you are setting yourself up, there's more time up front that you invest. And then that time is going to pay off over time because you're set up, it's handled. I have in my calendar that every 6 months I go in and I tweak my series. I make sure that my welcome series is up to date, that there was nothing I said that kind of was timely, so I always have that check every 6 months, and I'm checking my nurture series and I'm making sure that links work because sometimes we change links. So I do have I think it's quarterly check. And I spend about an hour on that. I just go through and send myself preview emails and just make sure that all the links are working and I read them through. And it doesn't take very long. If you have an assistant or an intern, they can help you do that. So it's definitely not a weekly thing anymore for me. It's more like a monthly and a quarterly thing, but really great question, Lorianne. And I did a deep dive there with you, a tangential deep dive. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay. Do I record in home in my own studio? Yeah, y'all. This is like an alcove, my microphone. I have another keyboard in there. These are rugs on my walls. This is how I DIY my own studio, y'all. I am the queen of DIY and making things work. And it is like dry. There is no echo in there. It totally works. So I went and I got like two $50 rugs at Lowe's when I first moved in here. And I was like, to the wall we go. So yes, I do record everything in my home studio. How do I convert email subscribers to Patreon supporters? This is a great question. We are going to talk about this in the selling because Patreon is one of the ways that you can see that dollar per subscriber per month show up for you. You can do a Patreon specific Rise series, several Patreon specific Rise series. We'll talk about that tomorrow. And yeah, email is the best way to get people interested in Patreon. You're going to convert much higher if you're going from social media to your email list than trying to get people from social media into your Patreon. You have a higher percentage of higher chance of selling via email than via Facebook. So the strategy is always get people onto your email list. But we'll go a little bit deeper on that tomorrow, but that's a great question. Someone's going to ask me about the rugs. Yep. Classy. There you go. And I work in logic. You guys are asking me tangential questions here. All right. So I'm going to just do one more scroll here. You guys have been amazing. So your homework, very clear. You're writing your welcome email and or optimizing the one you already have if you're in there. Cool. I'm just making sure that there's no questions of, if I answered your question already in the video, I'm not answering it again. I just want to make sure. How do you tag someone on Instagram? Oh, you just write the @ sign and then tag me. That's what we're doing to win the book bundle from me. Cool. Karen has a question. Let's see. Go this. When you tag somebody, i.e. received welcome series, is this an automatic process in the email platform? Do you manage that manually? Oh my God, I don't do anything manually. It's automatic. So essentially when you send the email, you can direct the email platform when this person has finished the sequence, add the tag, received or sent welcome series. Yeah. I used to manually automate, and I was talking to someone who I hired as a business coach who is a coach in automation. And they were like, you're automating manually. Like, it's kind of incredible in like you're wasting so much time kind of way. So I got really, really into automation. Let me just tell you a really quick story about automation. Buckle in for this one. So this guy he's actually gives a guest lecture in Rock Your Email List on ActiveCampaign because he works with ActiveCampaign too. And don't ask me what I think of your email platform. I said yesterday, the best platform for you is the one that you use, and no. And I talked about a bunch of different ones yesterday. So go back and watch Marla yesterday's call. But let me tell you about this guy. So he's got 3 teenage boys. He's got 3 teenage boys. He has automated literally everything, including their chores. This is what happens. He created a text automation that goes out to the 3 boys Friday night. It randomizes the 3 different chores, whether it's like, I don't know, like lawn, vacuuming, dusting, whatever the 3 like big things are. It randomizes it. So each week one of the kids gets a different one, so they don't fight over who has to do the harder one or whatever. In the morning, the Wi-Fi goes off, automated. Like, so every Saturday, it's like scheduled to go off through his automation stuff that he created. And then when all three of them finish their chores, they text done. When all three text done, the Wi-Fi goes back on. And he's like, and we do not fight about chores in my house. And I was like, oh my God, you have automated your teenage boys. So I became real into automation. Like, have your life work for you. This is what this whole email thing is about. This is what Rock Your Email List is about. This is what my calendar is about. Like, where can I take myself out of the equation and still have it be delivering value, still have it be high quality? What system, like, no subscriber is going to know whether or not you personally tag them or not. So you taking yourself out of so much of this email equation is for the betterment of your list, because then you get to go make better music. You can actually take time to reply really authentically and like dig in with people. You have time to like go on, do lives. You gain time because you spend a little bit of time up front setting yourself up, automating, learning these systems. And it's just like a win-win-win for everyone. It's very cool. Big fan of automation. Okay. So I have not figured out how to automate washing and folding, except that I maybe like whisper into my husband's ear, today you will wash all the dishes and fold all the things. And I think that it works sometimes. Maybe he doesn't even hear me. So yeah, there you go. All right, couple links. I use Kajabi and Bandzoogle, but I use Kajabi for email. Here's a couple links I'm going to throw below here. So if you're interested in trying out Kajabi, if you're like in this is like the big robust one, but it's also so freaking simple. Everything it's like the easiest user interface of all of them. Go to inthekey.co/Kajabi to try it out for 2 weeks. If you end up deciding this is great, I want to stick with this, you get a free Zoom call with me. So that's like kind of worth the price of the first couple months anyway. And that's a one-on-one call. If you want to try out Bandzoogle, if you don't have a website yet and you're like just starting out and you want to go basic and just like collect emails and then you have to manually do all the stuff, that's fine. Go to inthekey.co/make a site. That takes you to a free trial with Bandzoogle and a discount 15% off. If you are like, yes, this is my tool that I need. If you're still here, it kind of is, then I strongly invite you to check out Rock Your Email List. It is a course that is less expensive than most college courses, and it will have a higher return on investment, I promise. Inthekey.co/email course. And if you sign up during this challenge while it's live, sorry for people watching the replay, you're getting a Zoom call with me, a really fun group Zoom call. We're going to talk about strategy for you, and it's awesome. When Zoom calls with me are great. Okay. And then I've talked about Amplify, which is totally separate from all this email stuff, but I've just mentioned it enough. It's a mastermind, and the wait list is now open, and we open twice a year. So it's a very, very cool high level mastermind for musicians for leveling up. So those are all the links. I'll keep talking about all the things. I love that you're still here. Thank you. Yeah, Bandzoogle has ridiculous customer service. I absolutely love them. And if you are using, let's see, Bandzoogle and MailChimp for your list, keep your list on MailChimp. Don't move your list to Bandzoogle. They don't have any bells and whistles. You can't automate. You're regressing art. So keep on MailChimp. MailChimp's changing little things. Just stay up with when your email platform sends you an email and it's like, we have this new feature. Watch the video. Watch their read their emails, like stay on the email list for your email platform, because those updates are going to make a difference for you. And you want to know when you log in again, you're like, it all looks different. It's because you didn't watch the video when they said we made it changes. So those are the emails I read like with a fine tooth comb. Like, I want to know my system inside and out, and I want to be up to date with what's happening so that I can make sure that these systems still stay working for me. Make sure these systems still stay working for me. Say that 10 times fast. It's kind of fun. For all my songwriters and lyricists out there that like words, stick with me. Words are fun. Oh, this is a great question, Michelle. What suggestions do you have for migrating email list into different email server? Most platforms make it really easy to export your list as like a CSV file, Excel sheet, and then you can import with all the tags and everything into a new system. So that's all you have to do. If you've written all your emails, on a Word doc or on a Google Doc, you're going to have a really easy time just copying, pasting into the new system. And then you've got to connect it all and set up the automations, right? This triggers this. And then, and that takes a little bit of time, but that's pretty easy if you've done it before. If you've written your emails and they only live in the previous platform, you have to go into each one, like copy, paste, and you'll have to have multiple windows open. But just for migrating the actual emails that you've already gotten from opting in to your list, you just look for the export or import functions in either platform. But that's a good question. That is important. Lorianne, I think I just answered that. People are subscribing on your website. If they go with Kajabi, how does that work? So if you go with Kajabi for email lists, you can get the form, the HTML code, and you can put it into an HTML block on your website. So your website doesn't need to be hosted by Kajabi. It can be, which is really great. And one of the reasons I switched to them, because I really like the all-in-one look and feel of it. But you can take any email platform's form code. It's the form that they're going to be filling out. You can take that HTML code, create an HTML block on Wix or Bandzoogle, and have that form embedded essentially. So even though they're on your Wix site or on your Bandzoogle site, they're filling out the form. When they press submit, it's going to Kajabi or it's going to MailChimp or whatever your email platform is. Cool. I think that makes sense. Shakespeare, alliteration, y'all. Okay. You are my peoples. You're my peoples. All these artists here. Yeah, Kajabi, Michelle, is a website and an email program in one, and you can sell digital products and connect all the things and see all the stats. It's like, for people who love data, it's like a dream, totally a dream. All right. So I'm going to stop it here, and I will see you all. Oh, James, you got to go. You're going to miss Amplify at 5. That's our Amplify call that we have at 5. I make fun names for Amplify. So right now, the header in the Amplify group, y'all, it's for my Lord of the Rings dorky dorks. It says, "Welcome to the Amplishire." I change the header every month just to be cute. And sometimes it's like, "Welcome to Amplifreeze." This was like snowing in February. So now it says, "Welcome to the Amplishire." So cute. One day I want to do an in-person thing with Amplify. Like maybe we all go camping and it's obviously going to be called Camplify. For my record that I'm doing, I do a lot of choral work, and I created some prompts, and I was like, I think I want to collaborate with Amplify. And, I can't feature 39 people in the group submitted tracks to this song, which is so incredible that I'm now producing and using as source audio for really cool stuff. And the funny thing is you can't feature 39 people. You can't have 39 featured artists. So like an orchestra, you just list the name of the orchestra. And if they, we win a Grammy, then everyone that contributed actually gets the Grammy. It's the same way orchestras and choirs and stuff like that work. So I'm like, well, I need to come up with a thing. So I'm thinking maybe it needs to be Ampliband. Getting very excited about our Amplify words. All right. So we're clearly down a word rabbit hole today. Thanks for joining me. It's been the Cheryl Show, day 3 of the email challenge. Tomorrow's day 4. We've got 2 days left. Spend today to catch up. Writing this welcome email, it's not going to take you a lot of time. Repeat after me. I am a master of my email. You are already a master. Now we just need to do the work. That's it. I am a master of email. And by the way, when you're a master of email, what that actually means is I'm a master of my music career. That's what that means. I'm a master at communicating with my fans. I'm a master at delivering the music I've created or the content I've created. I'm a master at that because I am a master at email. They are completely correlated. Get it? So you guys, yes, I see you, Mike. You are master of emails. I love it. Karen, an Amplify spa day called Pamperfy. How come Amplify members? How come we haven't thought of that before? We should totally do Pamperfy. Karen, 10 points for you. I love that. All right. You're amazing. I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Check your email for the links and the workbooks. And good luck writing that welcome email. This is a big one. It's easy to do, but you are setting up a long-term fandom right now. Those people are going to come in and then they're going to stay, and that's where your growth is going to happen. So very exciting. So very exciting. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.